Air Hockey Weekly. We have these weekly tournaments of the best air hockey that you'll see anywhere. We get our sponsors up on the screen before we even jump into things. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Where's the Gig.com, the Old Humble Distillery, and I-45 Bingo. Amazing sponsors for an amazing night. I believe there's 11 people, I want to say, in the tournament tonight. So it's and what I think is a pretty large tournament. As you see up on your screens here, this is Chris Lopez against Brandon tomorrow. A lovely touch of the mallet. We love to see that here. Ref by Ryan Afrako. So things are starting off now. And Brandon starting off things here with the first for the game. In case you're wondering why Danny Hines is standing in the middle of the match, it's because we are working on a new table right in the middle of it. So he's more than likely just reffing. And so you're going to be standing there seeing Danny Hines. Not fair for this moment. Sorry, Danny. I met him before this. He's very nice. So it's now 5-2 Chris Lopez, and then a loss of the mallet from Brandon there. Oh no, that was the loss of the mallet for Chris. We have a nice little back and forth here. A few up goals from Mr. Tomorrow, Mr. Ninja Man, if you will. And then Chris Lopez, game point already. I believe that's game point 3. Yeah, there's game point 3. Sorry, Brandon. Oh, I was. I thought you were like on.
Hey, 75 Chris.
Oh, I didn't know that.
75 Chris.
And there's that first game goes to Chris Lopez.
1-0 Chris. In play. Hold up.
Okay. So now the noting that Chris starts off with 1 point here, at least for now, because Brandon tells me that he has a challenge match with Jacob Munoz tomorrow. He was planning on using his left arm mostly, but it doesn't look like that's the plan.
1-1.
There he goes, tying the game up now, getting himself out of that doghouse. And now the score is 2-2. Nice block from Tomorrow there. That's 3-4 now. Off goals there from Chris Lopez, and the last one being blocked by Brandon Tomorrow. I believe that one was a shot. Doesn't look like he was heading towards the corner of the goalpost there. And then Tomorrow now taking the lead in this matchup here. Now that I've met Danny, there's something calming about him being there.
5-3.
And now it is game point 3. Brandon Tomorrow has found a way to slip out of a little deficit and then turn this into his first win here. So now it is back to 1-0. Chris Lopez. And Chris Lopez saying that he scored him 3 times.
1-0. In play.
Which I know gets to these players a lot here. And it looks like Tomorrow starting off with some more goals of his own. And Chris Lopez not taking very kindly to it, making the score now 2-0 Chris Lopez. And then another, like, I want to call it a shot, like, I don't know what to call it. It's like when they fling their wrist like that, I love it. Oh, Danny, huh? If only you knew you were blocking half.
3-1.
And now the score is 3-1. That slippery shot there from Brandon Tomorrow, getting just behind Chris's mallet.
Still 3-1, Chris. Chris, are you ready?
Then the loss of the mallet from the table, the new table in the middle, getting onto the table on screen.
Chris's butt.
And now the possession switches over to Chris Lopez's side. Hopefully he's able to make the most of his time with the puck here. He, like you said, he did score himself 3 times the game before this. Hopefully he's found a new tactic, or he's more aware of what he's doing now. Which it seems like his team that score is now 4-1. Chris Lopez. And another off goal there. The finesse in Brandon Tomorrow's body when he had those 2 off goals. He was almost a ballerina.
4-2.
And now 2 off goals in a row, leading up to that beautiful shot, getting just past Chris Lopez's defense. Change of possession of Chris Lopez just for Brandon Tomorrow to do the same thing and then maintain possession. Good job there.
5-2.
And then a straight shot from Chris Lopez to end the back and forth, making the score now 5-2.
5-3.
And now Brandon Tomorrow with his own straight to make the score now 5-3. And now we see Chris Gibson and Noah Wiseman there. I'm guessing they were in the matchup.
Match point 3.
And now it is match point 3, Chris Lopez.
Match point 4.
Brandon Tomorrow making sure he doesn't go down without a fight. And a nice block and change of possession from Mr. Tomorrow here. And now the score is match point 5, Mr. Tomorrow.
Match point either way.
Brandon sizing up the note there. Now it is match point either way. That was 3 points back. No, that was 2 points
Match
back
point
to back.
either way.
No, I was right, 3. It was 3 points back to back for Brandon Tomorrow to get the game tied up here. Where it is truly anybody's game with the way these gentlemen have played today. Or tonight.
Match 7-6 Brandon.
And now Brandon Tomorrow taking this victory and moving on in the winner's side of things and pushing Chris Lopez into the elimination bracket. It was a very hard-fought match from both gentlemen. I like the way Brandon Tomorrow played in that, and I feel like Chris Lopez could have defended himself a little bit more, but you can't be perfect every time. Hopefully we get to see Chris Lopez bounce back from that, but at the same time, good job to Brandon Tomorrow, because he does have a challenge match tomorrow. It's good to see that he's playing at the top of his game.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. And I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit the throat. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, it was too much. These people are more intense than that.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey's not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think the extinction of air hockey is a very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, it may not be around.
We have lives, we have jobs, we have things that we can spend our money on rather than coming to Vegas to play air hockey. So there's definitely something about air hockey that's keeping us going.
It's really starting to reach out and connect the fan base to the sponsor base to the player base.
Oh, you got your under! Like to win 16-3! 4-0! Unbelievable!
In the moment of playing air hockey, there is no misery. You're playing air hockey.
Why they have jump rope and things like that on ESPN and not air hockey, it's kind of beyond me.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we have Brandon DeMauro against Brian across. I got the names mixed up, sorry. Brandon against Brian. While I get the names put up here, I'll just have to commentate, show you the score. I do know at the start of this, Brandon declined his points, meaning the score is now 1-0. The score is now 1-1. And now the score is 2-1. Brandon proving that he did not need the point starting off to get the leg up on Brian here. And then the lowest score of all time, making it now 2-all. And then Brandon almost making Brian score on himself there. And Brian not taking very kindly to that, hitting him back with a straight. But now essentially we just have these guys going blow for blow here. And you saw Brandon fix his arm to get ready for the block there. The puck was just faster than he was. We had a little slow reaction there too. And then a lovely change of possession. Good job, Brandon. We have a slow change of possession there. It now being Brian Acrocco's turn to now gain the lead, making it now 5-4. Brian Acrocco. And now it is game point 5. Brian Acrocco taking full advantage of the fact that Brandon slipped up on his first little shot there, and Brian was able to block it. And then the loss of mallet. Good job on blocking your goal there. And then pushing it into Brian.
Alright, you ready? Ready. It is game point 5. Game play.
As said by Mark Waheed, it is game point 5. The speedy block there from Ninja Man, Brendan DeMar. And then Brendan DeMar clearly upset about the loss of possession there. And two lovely blocks back to back. And then Brian Acrocco getting possession in the last second there just across the line.
Inside 7-5, Brian.
And now the first game going to Brian Acrocco. Hopefully we see Brandon kick into that mode that he did when we saw against Chris Lopez, taking the first loss and then learning from it and moving on and taking the next 2 games for himself. Hopefully that's what we see, but at the same time there are no guarantees, especially considering that Brian Acrocco is no pushover. So hopefully we get to see a little action here from Brandon. Now we have Brian back on the table, ready for this next match the next round between these two, the next game. We have both of the Hinds there.
Good shot.
And as said by, I believe, Brandon himself, it was a good shot, getting just behind Brian's mallet for, I believe that was the right wall under. Straight off goal there. Another straight off goal. Can't tell what side he's trying to get trained here, but good job on Brandon for getting the change of possession before it went too far. Looks like he's getting some off goals of his own. Brian trying to get the change of possession, and then the lovely elbow bend from Brandon DeMar. And then Acrocco getting just behind Brandon's arm there.
Come on.
3-1.
Now the score is 3-1. I think Brandon was too happy about the fact that Brian had to score on himself there. We have a little back and forth here. Brian almost having possession, losing it there. And Brandon taking full advantage of it. Very active on his defense and then scoring on himself. A little too active.
4-2.
And now the score is 4-2. Him making up for it almost immediately.
4-3.
Brian Acrocco proving that he's no pushover, like I said earlier. and making the score now 4-3. I'm seeing a lot of action here for Brandon now, but it seems like Brian Akrakko has an answer for almost everything that he does. So it's kind of turned into a little back and forth here. So luckily, Brandon's been able to stay in the driver's seat this game. He hasn't lost his lead, I don't think. I think it's just been the draw between them two. I think it's 2-2 for a second. Unless that was the last game, in which case there is never tied. And now it is game point 3. Brandon definitely climbing back after that first loss.
4 points.
And now it is game point 4. Brandon tomorrow. A nice score from Brian Akrakko there. Brandon maintaining possession here, which is a good sign for him. And now we have Brian Akrakko here on defense. Hopefully we get to see that lightning fast reaction, that lightning fast jump reaction we normally see from Brandon tomorrow.
5 points.
And now Brian Akrakko making the score now. Game point 5. Very steadily coming back in this. Gonna have to see Brandon snap to it before Brian does. And then losing possession, clearly upset.
Match point, game point.
And now it is match point, game point. And then the loss of possession and a timeout called by Brian Akrakko. Brandon very clearly upset with himself here.
Brandon said he's ready. It's match point, game point. In play.
And now the puck is in play.
Match, Brian.
And just like that, it is all over. Both games going to Brian Akrakko. I mean,
4-1. Timeout call. Ready? And play. Charlie. Ready, Mark? Play.
Okay, the puck is now in play. Sorry about that. Take a minute here. And now it is game point 2. Or game point 3. Now it's game point 4. Featuring the lovely locks of hair from Tyler Gibbs. And now it is game point 5. Mark Wahi definitely climbing into this thing. And just before he got too close, Charlie Martin does end it all. Bringing them into the second matchup. I'm bringing them into the second game of this matchup.
Let's crack back.
We have a little friendly banter in this game before they take up into the second half of it. Starting off 3-0. Charlie Martin. It's a big deficit for him to start at Mark Wahi, especially considering that in that last one it was a very close win for Charlie Martin. So hopefully this time Mark Wahi has figured out something new to get past that 3-point deficit and then gain the lead. And now it is 3-1. Charlie Martin. And the last second shot there, and then Mark Wahi returning the favor and almost getting past him. Like a little exclaim from Charlie Martin there. Nice shot from Wahi there that Charlie Martin was a little too ready for and used that to change possession and then give it right back to Wahi. And then a lovely shot from Wahi to make it 3-2. I believe that was for him that was the left ball under. Possession change to Charlie Martin here. And now it is 4-2. Now 4-3. Mark Wahi jumping right back into it. And a lovely stop from Wahi there. And maintaining his possession. A last second straight shot there. A lovely block from Charlie Martin. He was a little slow to that second one, but he just turns it into a change of possession. Good puck control here. And we have another change from Wahi now, making the score 4-all. Definitely clawing his way back into this thing, showing all signs of life. Maintaining the balance there. A little frustration from Wahi there about not maintaining possession. And an off goal from Charlie Martin there. Very aggressive off goal. Now Wahi gaining the lead there after a long banter between himself and Charlie Martin. Playing a very calculated game here. Not too much wasted energy at all. Just focused shots. It was almost like I'm watching chess.
8.4.
And now it is game point 4 from Mark Wahi. Definitely clawed his way back into this thing. And now Mark Waheed taking the second game, taking us into the final game of this matchup. Friendly banter here before we pick up into this final part of the matchup. Charlie Martin playing as elegant as ever.
Ready? 2-0, in play.
Starting to play a little bit more loose, using that to his advantage. Pump fake 40 shot there. And now it is 4-1, Charlie Martin. Now it is 4-2, Charlie Martin. Now it's 4-3. Mark Waheed once again on the offense.
Oh, come on, Mark. Wake up.
And now it is 5-3. Mark Waheed knowing that he could have blocked that. Sadly, we'll never know because Tyler Gibson wants to be the top. And now the score is 5-4. Charlie Martin. Wow, Mark Waheed definitely making a very noticeable comeback. And that was match point 4. Mark Waheed calling the timeout so he can get back into things, get back into the headspace he was in the second game. Especially considering that all he needs is 3 points. He is definitely shown that he's capable of doing so. Just like that, it wasn't enough. Charlie Martin taking the second game, 7-4. Oh, taking the third game. Taking the third game, 7-4. And while they get the match set up for table 1, we can see here Danny Hines against Chris Lopez. Ref by Brandon tomorrow. It looks like Chris Lopez took that matchup. I think that we heard him win the first one, and then Danny win the second one, and now Chris taking the third one. Yeah, that was on the elimination side of the bracket here. So we're going to have Chris Gibson up against Mark Waheed coming up soon. We're going to have Charlie Martin against Tyler Gibson. And then the match that we just saw was Chris Lopez against Danny Hines. And the winner of the match between Chris Gibson and Mark Waheed will be playing Chris Lopez. That's happening on the elimination side of things. And on the winner's side of things, I believe there's Noah Wiseman against Leah Hines. And the first one wins 7-4, Noah Wiseman. And then on the other side of things, we have the match between Charlie Martin and Tyler Gibson hasn't started yet. So while they set up for those, we'll be right back after a short break.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. And I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit that throat. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, it was too much.
These people are more intense than average.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey's not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think the extinction of air hockey is a very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, it may not be around.
We have lives, we have jobs, we have things that we can spend our money on rather than coming to Vegas to play air hockey. So there's definitely something about air hockey that's keeping us going.
We're really starting to reach out and connect the fan base to the sponsor base to the player base.
Tony gets to that ladder! Like to win 16-3! 4-0! Unbelievable!
In the moment of playing air hockey, there is no misery. You're playing air hockey.
Why they have jump rope and things like that on ESPN and not air hockey, it's kind of beyond me.
My name is Brian Acrocco. I'm the President and CEO of United Air Hockey Promotions. I have been running air hockey tournaments for about 15 years now, and I manage them here at SMU in Houston. Most new players, when they step up for the first time, they're quite surprised at the quality of skill that we have at the sport. Most people out that have not seen professional air hockey don't realize how advanced it actually is.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey.
All right, and we are back with the matchup being Chris Gibson against Mark Wahi. Ref by none other than Chris Lopez. Chris Gibson extending his full body across the table there, just for the touch of the mallet. And we have Lopez starting up the game here. Now the match is underway. Okay, score is now 1-1. Chris Gibson starting off with a 1-point lead, and Mark Wahi scoring the first time in this match. And the second time, that is now 2-1, Mark Wahi. Another change of possession elegantly by Mark Wahi. And now it is 3-1, Mark. Definitely not playing any games in this matchup. And another score from Mark Wahi to make the score now 4-1 Mark. Chris Gibson trying to fight his way back into things. Mark Wahi taking a second before putting the puck back in play. Chris Gibson, who was unable to maintain possession there. Mark Wahi making a score now 5-3, maintaining a 2-point lead here. Ooh, and hoping that he overextended at the wrong time. Gibson once again losing possession, clearly frustrated about that. Now maintaining possession very loosely. Making it work for him, the score is now tied at 5-all.
Are you ready? 5-5, second play.
Goal there by Mark Wahi turned it into a shot. The score is now game point 5, Mark Wahi. And then the slowest score of all time, Mark Wahi knowing he could have been there to block it. He was just slowly trying to follow behind it. Obviously you don't want to push it in yourself. And then taking the first game to make up for it. That one ended 7-6, not the play. I know that was late. I had to reach across the counter and tap it.
I waited for it to come back. I got a call on that because one time I remember distinctly getting it, and it was like right on the road. That was in my policy. Yeah, I made sure that I stopped myself. That's why I waited and I timed it. Yeah. No, I'm but I got called on it one time. Say, there was in my policy. So I can't call that. I guess that's someone else. It's a hard call to make because it's so close. I packed it.
I see we're just having a little banter between these gentlemen here. I believe the ref stepped away for a second. And now we have Chris Lopez coming back to the table to ref the second matchup, the second game between these two. And another touch of the mallet.
0-0 fucking play.
And already a block off rip from Mark Wahi. Something there, almost making Chris Gibson score on himself. And now we have, I don't believe that counted because he lost his mallet. Chris Gibson obviously not being kind of that, the way he held his face after it. All they have to do is hold on to that mallet. And then Mark Wahi taking their first score of the second game as well. And now it is 1-all. Lost the possession there. Trying to play close to the wall, and Mark Wahi was a little too ready for it, and then making that a score. Making the score now 2-1, breaking up the tie. You are definitely seeing Mark playing smarter than Chris Gibson here. Performance-wise, I feel like Chris is going for the big fast play, seeing him doing. And Mark Wahi just seems a little bit more focused, a little bit more zeroed in on how he wants to play and the style he's going for. He's definitely playing way more calculated tonight, at least in this game compared to his first matchup with Brendan DeMar. And now it is 3-2. Mark Wahi. About losing possession there. Chris Gibson playing it cool. More than likely, he's going to start warming up and playing fast here. And this is what still happen. It's now 3-all.
Hold up. You ready? 3-3, fucking play.
And the puck is back in play. Now we're seeing Mark Wahi pick up a little speed there, and Chris Gibson making him pay for it. Now gaining the lead for the first time in this matchup. And then a swing and a miss there for Mark Wahi.
Over here.
Sending the puck back over to Chris Gibson's side. Chris Gibson playing too good for his own good and sending it up the table, making it Mark Wahi possession. Then a straight shot from Mark Waheed, making it 4-4 all. Chris Gibson returning the favor, now keeping his lead. Unfortunately, it is a 1-point lead, and like I said, Chris Gibson is playing a little looser compared to Mark Waheed, who is definitely more calculated and more focused right now.
4. Point. 4.
And now I believe it is game point for Chris Gibson. Seems to have gotten the better of Mark Waheed. He was playing cool, calm, and collected, but it looks like the speed just got to him. And that second game going to Chris Gibson, meaning that we will be going into a third game between these two. I was honestly expecting Mark to take it 2-0. You can't predict everything. So hopefully in this third final game, you can see Mark Waheed stay in that mode that he came in earlier in the night and in the first game between these two. Now entering the 10th minute of this matchup. Again, I believe that was a straight shot from Chris Gibson. Once again, Mark Waheed knowing that he couldn't block that.
Ready? 0-1.
Another right wall under, right behind Mark Waheed's mallet. Looking at him making up for the straight, and Chris Gibson doing the exact same, making the score now 3-1. Mark Waheed did 3-2. Off goal there for Chris Gibson, I believe, and lovely blocked by Mark Waheed. Chris Gibson was expecting possession there. Luckily, Mark Waheed kept it on his side, and Chris Gibson turning it into his score, doubling Mark Waheed, making it score 4-2 for Chris Gibson. Very eventful exchange between these two, and Chris Gibson looking to keep things up, making the score now 5-2. It looks like he is capitalizing on the speed that he's maintained. Not, in my opinion, not particularly outperforming, but just outspeeding Mark Waheed. Definitely just breezing past him at this point. He picked up that speed, and Mark Waheed just wasn't ready for it. The score is now 5-3, and they have lost the puck there. It looks like that will be Mark Waheed's possession. Him already lining up for a shot that he's planning on taking here. Coming into a little diamond drift there. And a block, and then going significantly over the line, making it now Chris Gibson's possession. 5-3. Now it is match point 3. Like Mark Waheed had in the beginning, and he's starting to lose it. Hopefully he manages to come back somehow in the last few minutes of this matchup. And, it looks like he used Chris Gibson's mallet to score there, and then Chris Gibson ending it on a straight, making the final score 7-4 Chris Gibson. A very eventful exchange between these two, more than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting Mark Waheed to keep the momentum that he picked up. Yeah, but as I was saying, I was expecting him to keep the momentum that he picked up. He was playing, in my opinion, smarter than Chris Gibson was playing. Sadly, Chris Gibson was playing faster. Hi, I'm here. So you know that I'm actually here in the building and not lying to you. But yeah, as I was saying, Chris Gibson looks like he just picked up the speed there, and he started getting shot after shot. And he started overwhelm Mark a little bit, and that's unfortunate to see, especially because, in my opinion, Mark Waheed's been very calculated tonight, very calm and precise about the things that he does. He's drifts, lining up for the shots. He's been doing a lot of off goals and going into the corners and seeing what his opponent's doing and working on the shots. He's been very, very cool, calm, and collected tonight. And unfortunately, it started being little mistakes, like him not seeing the shot coming, being a little slow to the reaction, and Chris Gibson fully capitalizing on that, taking full advantage, and then taking that game. Looks like we're having our next matchup lined up on the first table here. That being Trent Morgan against Leah Hines. Okay, as I said before, we do have Leah Hines against Trent Morgan here. I believe Leah Hines starting off with 2 points and then making it 3 very quickly. Leah Hines making quick work of Trent Morgan, it seems like. And now it's 4-0, extending her full body across the table for that shot. And then the subtle change of possession, making the score now 5-0. Seemed like a relatively easy matchup for Leah. No offense to Trent Morgan. Nice block there. I love the Princess Peach thing she has going on wherever she blocks, puts her leg up. This is my first time seeing her play, so it's a little bit more entertaining seeing Trent play than she's been here before. And a nice block there from Trent Morgan, and the change of possession. And off goal turned into a straight shot by Leah Hines, making it now game point 1. Trent Morgan trying to get the jump on her, and luckily she was too fast for that. And these little subtle blocks showing that she's ready for any angle that Trent can come at. Sadly, she was not ready for the straight, and the score is now game point 2. And 3 rapid shots back to back, and then the loss of possession making Trent Morgan score on himself. The first game going 7-2, Leah Hines. Leah Hines starting off with 2 points, I was correct. And then a straight shot from her, making it 3-0. Trent Morgan very conflicted, a nice block from Leah there. He's playing very wide on his side of the table. A lovely block, and then him not seeing the puck coming somehow. 2 shots back to back again, and then Leah scoring on herself, making the score now 4-1. Leah Hines. And now it is 5-1, showing that even though she does score on herself, she can definitely score on other people too. I believe the puck is now back in play again. Keep in mind, we are in the second and potentially final game of this matchup, and it looks like it's definitely going to be ending in Leah's side of things, and I believe it was only 5 minutes of this match. Score is now 5-3. Trent Morgan score before it got too late in the game here. Now it is 5-4. Finally being a point apart here. Puck is now back in play. It is 5-4, Leah Hines. Trent Morgan maintaining possession here. Sadly, that has not been proven to be the most effective strat for him. He has been able to do that all night, but as you can tell by the scoreboard here, Leah has been walking right through his defense. And the slowest score of all time, I was ready for that. It's now 5-5. Look, it's back in play once again. Nice block there. Now it is game point 5. Hopefully Leia's manages to pull things back in here. And now it is Morgan's possession sadly. Hopefully she's able to defend herself and take this one home. And Morgan proving that it won't be that easy. It is now one game apiece entering the final game of this matchup. Once again, starting off with 2 points here. Morgan with a double bang there, making it now 2-1. Exchange here, and Leia quickly shutting me out, making the score now 3-1 Leia high. And a loss of possession there. To it by Trent Morgan for a 3-1. Save here. You say a steal of the puck there by Leia Hine. Once again, extending her full body across the table. Nice block there. A little too close with the second block, and then scoring on herself with the third. Scores now 3-2 Leia Hine. And then that's 2 shots back to back, and then almost giving Trent the puck there, and then I think that one's still 3-2. Morgan there, and the reborn of it. They're playing things very calmly here, spinning around there. They're playing right in her face with the sway of the mallet. And then a double bank of her own that Trent Morgan was able to block, and then a straight shot ties the game, making it 3-all. And now it is 4-3. And now it's 4-4. Back-to-back shots for both Trent and Leia. Leia starting things off and then Trent following. And now it is 5-4. Leia Hine. 5-5. Trent, and now Leia's doing the same. Match point 5. Looks like there was a big shot there by Trent Morgan, turning into a giant diamond drift. And if this trend keeps up, the match will be Leia's, but it is Trent's possession once again, and he asked about her off guard before. It's match point all in the final game. And now the possession has been shifted over to Leia Hines, playing things seemingly calm and collected here. And then once again, two shots back to back. And then finally slowing things down and calling it time. It seemed like she hurt herself there. Together. Stack. Right under her playing on Trent Morgan, capitalizing on it, making the score 7-6 in the final game.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. And I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit the throat. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, it was too much.
These people are more intense than that.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey's not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think the extinction of air hockey is a very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, it may not be around.
We have wives, we have jobs, we have things that we can spend our money on rather than coming to Vegas to play air hockey. So there's definitely something about air hockey that's keeping us going.
We're really starting to reach out and connect the fan base to the sponsor base to the player base.
Oh, you got to that one under! Like the win, 16-3, 4 sets to 0. Unbelievable.
The moment of playing air hockey, there is no misery. You're playing air hockey.
Why they have jump rope and things like that on ESPN and not air hockey, it's kind of beyond me.
Alright, sorry to cut you short there, but we do have the Chris's playing here. Nice touch of the mallet, and then the match is underway. I'm not sure if anyone starts off with a point here. We have Lopez against Gibson. And it's already one for Gibson, making for, to my knowledge, 1-0. Oh, never mind, that's 4-1. Chris Lopez starting off with 3 points there. 5-2. Once again, the speed coming out of Chris Gibson here. A little bit faster than Chris Lopez is ready for, it seems like. Nice block there by Chris Lopez. Now picking up on some speed himself. Getting into this nice rhythm. Sadly, it is a rhythm though, and Chris Gibson is used to faster paced one. It might be a little too in his round. Then a straight shot from Chris Lopez, making the score now game point 4. And then scoring on himself, giving the first game to Chris Lopez. Like we have once again Chris Lopez starting off with 3 points, and now it is 4-0. Chris Gibson making the score now 4-1. A shot that Chris Lopez almost gave to him. Now it is 4-2. Chris Gibson. Chris Gibson playing kind of slow here. The Bucks are now back in play. I feel like they have a little confusion there between these two. Chris Gibson stopping the puck before it went into his own goal there, and then losing possession, crossing the line. Luckily, it wasn't on side. Now the shift of possession, turning it into a shot, making the score now 4-all.
Oh, I snuck that in.
Chris Lopez vocalized that he snuck that in, which in fact he did. Letting the puck bounce behind him for a second and then morphing that into a shot. Chris Gibson making the score now 5-all. Lost possession there for Chris Lopez. And then scoring on himself, making it match point 5. Chris Lopez. Chris Gibson tying it up, making it game point, match point. It's said by Noah Wiseman, the ref. Chris Gibson taking the second matchup between these two, making it a match apiece, and ending in 7-6. Chris Gibson. And another touch of the Mallards in the final game between these two. Very fast diamond drift, trying to get into a shot that was blocked by Chris Gibson. Chris Lopez. Chris Lopez returning it with a straight that was blocked by Chris Gibson, and now the possession is Chris Gibson's, making the score 3-1. And now it is 3-2. Shot there by Gibson, by Lopez. Then loss of possession by Chris Gibson. Gonna get into a nice shot, making it 3-all. And a very slow shot from Chris Lopez. Slow enough for him to say really. On himself there. That's sort of bad karma once again happening. Chris Gibson using Chris Lopez's own mallet to make the up back in. And now it is now match point 4 after 3 rapid shots. Chris Lopez doing the same. And Chris Gibson ending it on a straight, coming back and winning both of the last games of this matchup. I'll say it was a very well fought game. I believe that was in the elimination. So Chris Lopez is now eliminated. Done by his, I guess you could say, evil counterpart, Chris Gibson. But with that being said, the winner of that being Chris Gibson will go on to play Brian Crocker in the elimination semifinal. Well, the elimination semi-final. So it's the semifinal before the semifinal. Well, it's the final before the semifinal, actually. And then in the winners final, we have Charlie Martin against Noah Wiseman. Matchup that we did see last week. Charlie Martin did prove to be the better player out of the two. Hopefully we've seen some improvement from Noah Wiseman. Speaking of Noah Wiseman, tonight has been, I believe, a pretty good night for Noah. He started off against Chris Gibson and won both times, 7-6, 7-3. Then he played Leah Hines and it went 7-4. Noah, then 7-6 Leah, and then 7-3 Noah. And then he went against Brian Akako, and the score was 7-2, and then 7-5 Noah Wiseman. As far as Charlie Martin, his track record for the night, he had in the first match he had a bye, and he played the winner of the matchup between Mark Waheed and Trent Morgan, which was Mark Waheed, and that game went 7-5 Charlie, then 7-4 Mark, and then 7-4 Charlie. And then he played Tyler Gibson, and the score went 7-5, and then 7-6 Charlie Mark. So Noah has had, tonight, speaking of tonight, Noah has had more experience and more playtime to get warmed up and get ready for things. So hopefully Charlie Martin is ready for whatever Noah Wiseman has to bring to the table.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. And I'm thinking about explaining to her first that, to me, you're like an air hockey table.
Alright, and here we are having the first ever live filmed matchup at air hockey this week at 7-6. Okay, the names have been updated correctly. Okay, and I believe that's 3 for Noah, 1 for Charlie. All right. We have Noah Wiseman playing very calmly here, very slowly. And then an aggressive straight shot there, making the score 4-1. And a lovely block from Noah Wiseman, who seems zeroed in on that puck. Charlie Martin was a little bit quicker than Noah's focus. Hopefully we get to see him get back into that mode that we just saw. And before that, he will score on himself one final time. I'm calling it. He won't score on himself again. I have that much faith in Noah Wiseman tonight. Like it's back in play.
You ready? Ready? Yeah. Pucks in play.
I believe that was another straight shot from Noah Wiseman, making the score now 5-3. Oh, and no, it was 5-4, and now it's 5-5. In case you're wondering why the camera angle is not on, is not on the table that it's normally on, it's because this is the winner's final. So naturally, we want you to see this. And the cameraman tonight is Peter Lippincott. He did not play in the tournament tonight, but he was here playing against Danny Hines a little earlier. Sadly, we did not get to see play on the main table. The score is now. No, I believe now it's 6-all. Yeah, it is. Cool. And a good block from Noah Wiseman, leaning his whole body back into that. And Charlie Martin with his little twist of his legs. And a straight shot there, and Noah Wiseman taking the first game there, I believe. Okay, I'm waiting for a chance to see the ref's hand before I just add or subtract anything from the score. And then very fast reflexes from Noah Wiseman. I'm seeing all the aggression here. And there's one for Charlie Martin. But there's two for Noah Wiseman. He starts off with two. Okay. In that stiff diamond drift that he's almost add a little finesse to. There's almost a slight charm to it, the way he does it. And then the puck flying off of the table there. Now we're going to get it. The score is 2-1, Noah Wiseman. And then change of possession for Charlie Martin there. And both of these gentlemen playing right up front with each other. Charlie Martin losing sight of the puck and then quickly finding it and changing possession, giving it to Noah Wiseman. Score is now 2-1. Oh, score still 2-1.
7-3, Chris. 7-3, Chris. What would happen in that situation where lost a mallet and a charge? I didn't really, that's why I hit the puck. It's my puck. We both hit it in the line. Yeah, I just did that. Here,
We have calm banter between Brandon and Brian about their match there.
Ready? Ready?
Very slow pacing here in the matchup between Noah and Charlie. Again, an attempt at a shot there from Noah Wiseman, blocked by Charlie Martin. And once again, but this time with the change of possession, it's Charlie Martin's puck. Get a nice diamond drift and then an aggressively quick shot from there that Noah Wiseman was ready for, and then used it to change position here. You see our backhanded double bank there. Charlie seems to be sticking to Noah's right side, and then trying to hit him with a trick off pull to his left there. And now it is 2-2, I believe. We have another block from Charlie Martin there, and then maintaining possession at the last possible second here.
You ready? You ready? Pucks in play.
A lovely block there from Noah Wiseman. And once again, that blocky diamond grip that seems to be working for him. He's been dominating tonight. And then a score on himself, making the score now Charlie Martin.
Pucks in play. 7-3. 7-3, Chris.
Thank you. No, I'm out.
Still that blocky diamond drift from Noah Wiseman. A slow matchup here, but you can definitely see that they're reading each other after this being the second week in a row that they've had this matchup in the same position. It almost makes sense. And then another straight shot from Charlie Martin, making the score 4-2. And seeing that Noah Wiseman starts off with 2 points is really 4-0. He swung off to the right, but the shot went off to the left. He swung off to the left, but the shot went off to the right. At least from our perspective here. And an off goal there, and then the loss of possession. Puck flying off the table there. I believe it'll be Noah's possession. And I guess this is drafted by Papa Wiseman himself. Noah Wiseman now fighting his way into this thing. It's now 4-3. Noah, Charlie Martin. Now it is 5-3 Charlie Martin. Wiseman once again trying to keep his footing in this matchup. And then the puck flying off the table there. Game point 4. I believe there was a timeout called by Charlie Martin. So he's now game point 5. Charlie Martin still in the lead, and a lovely block. Noah Wiseman once again. And Charlie Martin ending the second matchup, 7-5. A little bit more dominant than we are used to seeing.
7-4 tie.
Pete's trying to figure out a way to get the camera set up here.
It's like I can be 2 up with 1 shot.
Shake it.
Okay, charge. Fucking
It's like an old man, and I can see the face, and I can imagine everybody's stop moving, Pete! Stop moving! I like the idea of them seeing the bag and just moving around.
Yeah, but where did it go? The puck was scored here on face-off. I had it backwards. Yeah. I was. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you're welcome. I had it backwards. I saw the logic both ways. Yeah. I'm still ready? 1-0. Out of your goal, right into mine. Mind control. This does not matter what I'm about to do. I am not going to win this
Flip the side of my mallet while I was out there.
Hit mine too, though. I literally felt it. I told you I'm not meant to win this at all.
Now with that attitude.
I'm trying. I'm not giving up. I'm literally ready. 3-2.
Alright, we are in the third and final game of this matchup between Noah Wiseman and Charlie Martin. Looks like that's 1 for Charlie Martin. I believe Noah starts with 2. But in case I'm wrong, let's put it at 0 and it's score. then I'll adjust to do my job properly. Keeping possession here, then a straight shot. Oh, that was the end of it. Noah Wiseman taking it home, being the first time that this matchup has ended with a victory in the position that it was.
That's 5, Brandon. I said the match, not that game. I said the win's going. I'm not going to win this match. Got that? Right in my hand, and then I put it right on the table. Ready? 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 3, 2.
In case you're wondering why I'm not commentating doing my job, it's because this match kind of took place in the middle of the finals, which is a really weird way they did it. They just had this one going on in the background. Now I'm just not jumping into it, but this is the elimination semi-final. So whoever wins this will go on to play, I believe Chris Gibson. The winner of that matchup will go on to play Charlie Martin, which will be the elimination final, and then whoever wins that will go on to play Noah Wiseman in the true final, not just the elimination final, not the winner's final, but the final overall. Feeling a lot of activity from Brandon once again. We are seeing a very aggressive Brandon. He's definitely playing with a cause. It doesn't seem like he's just playing for fun tonight. He definitely has a focus and a goal in mind. It just doesn't look like it was enough. By the body language, it doesn't look like he took that one home. Oh no, I was wrong. Brandon won that one. Wasn't very excited about it. Brandon will be facing Chris Gibson. Here on table 1. Jumping straight in. Hopefully touching them out a bit. And the match is underway. Chris Gibson's starting things off here at the first point of the game. By the language coming from Chris tomorrow and the smile from Chris, I would say that Chris Gibson definitely has gotten under his skin a little bit. Once again, the score is now 3-2 with Brandon tomorrow scoring before I can say 1. Chris Gibson quickly taking back the 2-point lead. Middle, that hard shot he was going. Brandon getting ready to do the same and just wasn't ready for that kind of shot he was taking. Before it's not 5-2, Chris Gibson. Definitely think a lot of sloppy play. Hopefully he snaps into it. Chris Gibson, new style of playing it being match point, game point 3. Now that first one going to Chris Gibson. As we go into the second, and if Brandon doesn't get it together, this will be the final game between these two. Hopefully he's able to find some kind of focus here. That's 2 nice bank shot blocks in a row just for Brandon to put a straight and they return the favor with a straight of his own, making the score 1-all. I believe it's now 2-1 Chris Gibson. Now it's 2-all. Now Brandon finally getting the leg up here, making the score 3-2. Definitely starting to see a lot less motion coming out. It seems like he's finally cooled down and playing more solidified. Definitely quicker in the motion, but faster in the plays. Making the score now 4-2. Chris Gibson not allowing himself to slip too far back in the game. And another straight shot, Brandon, making Chris say nice. And then another straight shot. It is now 5-all. Brandon once again with the aggravation, starting to get a little looser once again. And then calming down to a straight shot, making it game point 5. Getting him to open up there. He was a little too ready for the right side, getting him ready for the left. Sadly, he was not. Game point. Then a straight shot will end it all. Chris Gibson taking the win and moving on to play again. I believe it's Charlie Martin. Chris Gibson and Charlie Martin.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit that through. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, it was too much.
These people are more intense than average.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey is not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, it may not be around.
We have wives, we have jobs, we have things that we can spend our money on rather than coming to Vegas to play air hockey. So there's definitely something about air hockey that's keeping us going.
We're really starting to reach out and connect the fan base to the sponsor base to the player base.
Oh, you got your level under! Like to win 16-3! 4-0! Unbelievable!
The moment of playing air hockey, there is no misery. Playing air hockey.
Why they have jump rope and things like that on ESPN and not air hockey, it's kind of beyond me.
My name is Brian Acrocco. I'm the President and CEO of United Airhockey Promotions. I have been running air hockey tournaments for about 15 years now, and I manage them here at SMU Houston. Most new players, when they step up for the first time, they're quite surprised at the quality of skill that we have at the sport. Most people out that have not seen professional air hockey don't realize how advanced it actually is.
All right, we are here in the matchup between Chris Gibson and Charlie Martin. The score is now 3-all. As you see there by the lovely ref, Sarah Wiseman. And now Chris Gibson once again using that speed he normally kicks into to make it 4-3. Very quickly returning the favor with that, like I say, speed. Definitely favoring a fast-paced game and then getting right underneath Charlie Martin's body to make the score 5-3. Charlie Martin was getting right underneath his mallet to make up that sneaky shot he got that. And then looking like he's gonna make a nice diamond drift or warm up with the puck a little bit and trying to get into a nice, I believe that was the right wall under for him, left wall under for Charlie. And once again, Chris Gibson using that speed to take the game, take the match. Another slow score. Chris Gibson basically making Charlie Martin score on himself. And then with a straight shot there blocked by Chris Gibson. And Charlie Martin almost just letting that one slide past him once again. The score is, and once again happening twice in a row. The score is now 3-all. Almost no motion from Chris Gibson's side of the table. Now the puck is back in play. Now the puck flying off the table. It was Chris Gibson's shot who did that, so it will be Charlie Martin's possession. Charlie Martin standing on the puck there. And regaining possession of that last second there. And now fighting his way back into it and gaining the lead. It's 4-3 now. Chris Gibson keeping that lead. Keeping the tie. And now Charlie Martin gaining momentum on his side of the table, keeping the lead in this back and forth they have going on. And now it is game point 4. Little exclamation there from Chris Gibson. Clear some aggravation, and now the second game going to Charlie Martin, taking us into the third and final game. There's a straight shot for Chris Gibson to get the scoring started in this third game between these two. And another straight shot, making it now 3-2, Chris Gibson. And now 3-all. Charlie Martin returning the favor with his own bench shot there. Chris Gibson upset about that loss of possession there. He obviously had something in mind. And now he finally gets the chance to set that up with an off goal there. We had a nice visitor Pete Lippincott here. Score is now 4-all with speed that Gibson has picked up here. And Charlie Martin trying to play a sophisticated, calculated game, and Chris Gibson not giving him a chance to breathe and formulate those thoughts. He has been right down Charlie Martin's neck this whole entire match, whether that be up or down. He did win the first game, and now Charlie Martin gaining the lead once again, going how the last game did. They're going neck and neck, but Charlie is initiating each back and forth. Now Chris Gibson matching the score, making it 5-all. Block from Charlie Barton. Plug the distance off the table with his Chris Gibson shot. And now it is match point 5 for Chris Gibson. Charlie Martin looking to tie things up, and Chris Gibson, now this possession, picking up that speed and taking the match, meaning that he will be moving on to play against Noah Wiseman in the finals. That was a very quick and unexpected into this. I'm not saying that I didn't expect Chris Gibson to win this one, but I was expecting a little bit more of a back and forth, a little bit more of a challenge, rather than him having this formula in the first half, being that he kind of picks up his speed faster than his opponent's ready for, and then, naturally he plays really good defense, especially against slower opponents, because he's used to things being at a faster pace. He plays best there, in my opinion. And then Charlie Martin, who was trying to play a very smart game. Obviously, Chris Gibson moves faster than his opponent can think. So now we will see him go up against Noah Wiseman, which I'm very interested in. And they're already lining up at the table, so I'll show you that. You can see these two, I believe, squaring off for the first time in the finals. So hopefully Noah Wiseman plays it home. And the game starts. Puck is in play. Noah Wiseman starting off with 5 points. Which in any other scenario would be fine. It would be a very balanced match, but Noah Wiseman has not been a pushover tonight. He has been not demolishing, but almost walking through all of his opponents. So hopefully he isn't able to capitalize on this 5-point lead that he has. For Chris Gibson, but if you're a Noah Wiseman fan, hopefully he just spends the first few minutes of this match playing around before he goes for the kill shot. Me personally, I don't care how this goes. I'm interested. That's 3 points for Chris Gibson before Noah can score 1, showing that he's definitely aware of how much of a dangerous spot he's in, due to the fact that Noah starts off with 5 points. And now it is 5-4, Noah Wiseman. Picking up on his speed a little bit there. Trying to play the same game as Chris. Again, trying to catch Chris by surprise, but with a fast player like this, I doubt that'll happen. Noah spending longer than 7 seconds with the puck there and causing the shift of possession, meaning it's now 5-all. I believe that's the first time we saw someone get called out for holding the puck too long. Noah Wiseman seemingly caught by surprise here. Chris Gibson making the victory over him, 7-5. Luckily, the possession starts off from Noah Wiseman. Puck is now in play. And losing possession there. He hasn't done too well again. The last game was 7-5. He started off with that 5 points. That was really 7-0. Wiseman once again taking taking his time with the puck there and looking to get it back. And shifting into the wide defensive stand. Score is now 5-1. Noah Wiseman. And now it is 5-2. Noah Wiseman again. Nice block there from Noah Wiseman. Clearly ready for Chris Gibson to be on the offense. However, not ready for whatever shot that Chris calls with. The score is now 5-3 Noah Wiseman. And now 5-4. Chris Gibson almost walking through this matchup. If he does win this, he will be going into a third one, and hopefully then Noah Wiseman is able to figure out a way to get past Chris's offense, not even his defense. And now it is 5-all. A straight shot there directly into Chris Gibson's glove, causing a shift in possession. And Chris Gibson turning it into a shot and going straight for the straight, which Noah Wiseman was ready for, and then extending his full body. It is now match point 5. He was trying to change possession there, Noah Wiseman. Looks like he hit the puck just a little too hard and sent it over to Chris Gibson's side of the table. Just like that, that match is over. And now it looks like they're letting him know that they have one more set after this. I'm not sure if they're going to be taking a minute before they jump into it. What's happening here, but I do know that I hope that Noah Wiseman has taken this into account and taken a little break in between these matchups to figure out what he's going to do here, figure out what he's leaving open, what he's doing wrong, and what exactly Chris Gibson is doing to pick him apart. While we wait for them to get back to the table, we'll be right back.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. And I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit the throat. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body, the air hockey greatness, that my arm just, it was too much.
These people are more intense than average.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey's not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think the extinction of air hockey is a very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, it may not be around.
We have lives, we have jobs, we have things that we can spend our money on rather than coming to Vegas to play air hockey. So there's definitely something about air hockey that's keeping us going.
We're really starting to reach out and connect the fan base to the sponsor base to the player base.
Oh, he gets to that water! Like the win, 16 to 3, 4 sets to 0. Unbelievable.
In the moment of playing air hockey, there is no misery. Playing air hockey.
Why they have jump rope and things like that on ESPN and not air hockey, it's kind of beyond me.
I just want you to laugh at it. Thank you. All right, come on. Let's get this final going. Oh. Oh, you.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
All right, and we are entering the final matchup between these two. Yes, sir. All right, we are back in the final matchup between these two. Winner takes all, which means hopefully in the time that they took in between these matchups, Noah Wiseman has pieced something together. I'm very excited to see what he has here. He talks about his papa, OG Wiseman, and then big sister as well, Sarah Wiseman, the queen as I call her. Now it is 5-2. Chris Gibson technically, because it does start with 5. Lost the puck there.
Ready? 5-7-2. Fucking play.
Alright, let's get back in play.
3.
Chris Gibson right on it again. He scores now 5-3. 5-4. Noah Wiseman.
6-4.
Here we go. Finally, game point 4. Noah Wiseman scoring his first point. And the 7th game. First point in 7 games. And then scoring on itself. I know that one hurts to see and it hurts to do. And now the score is 6-all. Chris Gibson catching right up to Noah Wiseman. Sending the puck off the table. Meaning that it is Chris Gibson's possession.
Ready? 6-all. Fucking play. 7.
And Chris Gibson taking the second. Taking the first game of the second match between these two. Okay, once again, I'm getting more words of advice from Papa Wiseman.
5. Fucking play. 1-5.
Chris Gibson started off the second game with the first 4 games. Puck flipping over there, luckily landing right side up. And now it is 5-2. Noah Wiseman. Now 5-3, a timeout call. And finally, this is them together. It's game point 4 now. Off the table and then more time. Hopefully no one can take this into account and finish this game. Here we go.
Game 3. Possession on the left.
Now on game 3.
Ready? 5. Fucking play.
5-0. And the final game of the night. A very fast block from Chris Gibson into a second shot, which was straight, getting right past Noah's defense. Losing control a little bit there before he regained possession of the puck. He's a bit nervous here. And Chris Gibson's still playing cool, calm, and collected, but at that fast pace that he's comfortable at. Banter here back and forth. Chris Gibson breaking it up. Great shot. It's 5-2 now. Been a slow straight shot. Chris Gibson making it 5-3. Come on, all know what I have to do is score twice. This is his victory. Gibson taking it slow here. And now he's getting his body on the table. Starting to play right up in Noah's face. Noah's being a little slow to block. Definitely getting trained off to his left side. And getting him to extend just so he can slip underneath his body, making this one 5-4. Oh, it's 5-4. Noah wide. Trained off to that left side. Come on! Then the change of possession. Just like exactly what Noah was waiting for. Well aimed shot. A little too fast to the block there. And now, Gibson tying the game up. An aggression from Noah Wiseman. They can get match point 5. Hopefully he's able to keep that anger that he's showing just now. That caught Gibson off guard. Now it is match point either way. And the next person to score is going to be the last. Off goal there from Noah Wiseman. Off goal, almost lost, and Chris Gibson taking it home. A very hard fought match for Chris Gibson. Hard fought from both people. It was a very, very tough game. Chris Gibson obviously scoring 7 points before Noah scored 2, but Noah not making it exactly easy for him. There was a lot of moments where Chris Gibson had to almost lost possession entirely to Noah Wiseman. Noah Wiseman. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Chris Gibson definitely had moments where Noah Wiseman looking at what he could do about it. Noah Wiseman playing with playing a very smart game. It seems like he managed to score mostly and catch Chris Gibson off guard mostly. But he was playing with that aggression, using that anger that he has in him, which it seems to work out for all the Wisemen across the board. Is using that anger. It's a very useful tool for them, and it looks like he's starting to get the hang of it, because when he scored that first one, it looked like the first thing he did was calm himself down. At the same time, it did help him out a lot, but like I said, Chris Gibson is used to playing fast. Very fast team. Wiseman just wasn't ready for that kind of game. As you can see here, he's still getting close to a bit of a bubble wise, I would say. And, got some onlookers in the background there just observing, because Noah Wisely does have a lot of potential. He's a really good player. At least for someone who started it early, and especially get this far into the tournament, and then putting up this kind of a fight at the end. Sadly, it was a tiny bit easy for Chris Gibson, but win some, you lose some. Hopefully, he comes back next week better than ever and smarter than ever. I have been your host, Josh Austin, for Air Hockey Weekly, as you see across the screen here. And if you want to hear more of my voice on the podcast with my best friend Jay, here sometimes. Sadly, couldn't be here this time. He had other engagements. But if you want to hear more of our voices, we do have a podcast called JJ versus the World. It's on all streaming platforms. We put out an episode last week, 7 weeks before. We had a bye week this week, so schedules didn't line up. But yeah, if you want to hear more of us, there's a podcast.